Welcome to the University of Illinois Wheelchair Track Team's video series on how to use finger-thumb glove style. I'm Adam Blakeney. I'm the head coach of the University of Illinois Wheelchair Track Team. In this video, we'll begin a deeper dive into each of the four phases comprising the racing wheelchair stroke. We'll pay special attention to how an athlete uses the finger-thumb glove style during each phase. The stroke's first phase is called the load. During the load phase, the athlete makes the first point of contact with the hand ring, loading it into the glove's groove. An effective load is critical to how the athlete is able to apply force into the hand ring. A less than optimal load will nearly always lead to a wasted stroke. That initial loading of the hand ring into the glove is key because it will establish a solid driving position, meaning that the athlete's ready to apply force into the hand ring. It is the case, then, that the initial contact and hand ring load determines the effectiveness of the remainder of the stroke. If an athlete misses locking the hand ring into the glove's groove, oftentimes they'll slip off the hand ring early, which is generally a very painful experience with the associated burns on the forearms or biceps. Let's take a look at the position the hand assumes during load. There are two images here from two different views, side on the left and front on the right. Take a look at the angle between the forearm and the hand and notice how the hand in both images is flexed thumb side toward the forearm. Now we get the hand in this position during load in order to allow the hand ring to be situated smoothly into the glove's groove, creating a solid lock between the glove and the hand ring. Here's a closer look at how the hand ring settles into the glove's groove. In the image on the left, you can see how the glove essentially wraps itself on the outer half of the hand ring. On the right, here's an animation of the same thing from the front view. This depicts the left hand hitting the left wheel. One thing to note is how the thumb slightly contacts the top of the hand ring. This is the only time during the stroke where this would occur. As the hand moves through the drive phase, the thumb will make contact along the hand ring's outer section and will do so in concert with the fingers moving further into contact on the inner part of the hand ring. The point on the hand ring where the athlete loads is typically around 2 o'clock. This will vary based on the speed the athlete's moving. It becomes progressively earlier as the athlete slows and progressively later as the athlete speeds up. For instance, an athlete climbing up a hill would generally make contact earlier on the hand ring, 1 o'clock for example. The same athlete who's pushing at a high velocity on a slide downhill would generally make contact later on the hand ring, 2:30 for example. I find it useful when teaching or learning the stroke to use cues to elicit the preferred movement or shape. When teaching the load phase, we use two different cues. The first cue is thumb to the ceiling, thinking about flexing the thumb up toward the ceiling. This keys the athlete in on having them move the hand into the appropriate position for glove to hand ring interface on load. Let's take a look at this in action. Here we see an athlete moving through accelerate in preparation for load. Notice how she moves her hands, thumb to ceiling. A second cue we use is scoop into the hand ring. Now when using this cue, I make sure to qualify to the athlete that they do not, in fact, move up and into the hand ring. Rather, it's a feel of getting the two fingers up into the hand ring on their first contact with it. Here we see this in action. Notice how those fingers lock onto the hand ring on first contact. There are a few mistakes we see as athletes learn to use the finger-thumb style glove. The first is making contact with the glove outside of its groove and missing a solid lock with the hand ring. In this video, we see an athlete who had just recently transitioned from a flat glove to a finger-thumb glove. Note how there's just a slight misplacement of the glove on the hand ring on that first contact before it settles into the groove. You can see a skipping movement. Typically, you can hear what we call the double tap. Instead of a clean pop, you'll hear a pop pop. Another common mistake we see as athletes are learning to use a finger-thumb style is to load only on the thumb and entirely miss making contact with the fingers. This often is a carryover habit from using a flat glove, either a soft or hard version. In this video, notice how the contact is fully on the side of the thumb, keeping the hand ring disconnected from the hand. Here's a best practice example of optimal load. You can see the hand positioned appropriately on the first contact with the hand ring, allowing it to dig deep into the glove's groove and setting the athlete up for optimal drive.